today we're going to talk about clutches for the Focus XR5, or known as ST225 in the rest of the world. We've got an Xtreme single mass flywheel performance kit here, and then we've got a standard Focus RS mk2 clutch kit. They've both got pros and cons over each other. We'll run through one at a time, basically cover them and show the differences. First things first, they both use a concentric slave cylinder. This is normally abbreviated to a CSC. So when you are putting a foot down on the clutch pedal, it's going to move your hydraulic fluid from your master cylinder through your line, and it's then going to push the slave cylinder out and onto your pressure plate. It is the same on both kits. There's a little note about these which we'll come back to later. One really important thing though, when you do buy these, never grab it and compress this. Never ever do that. You never want to compress this other than when hydraulic fluid is doing it. The reason being is you can flick the seal inside out and basically overstroke the slave, and then it's just going to leak fluid everywhere. So never compress it. Now, with the RS kit, it's a dual mass flywheel. Okay, both of these flywheels have got a ring of teeth here. If you look carefully, you'll see that there's a gap. So the teeth is for the crank sensor to detect. So it's going to see tooth, 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 tooth. Then it's going to see the gap. There's a total of 58 teeth in it. When it sees the gap, that's how it knows the position of the crankshaft, because it needs to know for its timing. Okay? So with the dual mass kit, you've got a self-adjusting pressure plate. These are what I like to call your pressure plate fingers. These are what your slave cylinder are pushing down onto. On the other side of it, you've got a machined surface. This is your back of your springs. Okay. Next, we've got our clutch friction disc. Now, as you can see, this is a solid disc, and then your friction material, this is an organic clutch disc. Your friction material is riveted to it. So it doesn't look like you actually have that much. I mean, it's a few mil, both sides. When this wears down to the rivets, she's gone, got to throw it away. Then you've got your dual mass flywheel. Now it's called a dual mass because it's two pieces. So this is a section and this is a section, and you can actually move them. Now recently manufacturers have, well not that recently, but last 20 years, manufacturers have started to move to dual mass flywheels. Now they do this for two reasons. One, it absorbs a little bit of torque transfer. So when you first come off the clutch, you don't feel this jolt as the driveline engages and as you pull away. The second reason is some engines, like the 5-cylinder Volvo engine in these cars, they have a bit of a weird note. So you get this kind of vibration. The dual mass flywheel just absorbs that. The downside to a dual mass flywheel is they can't take as much torque. Now, you'll see a lot of time online, people will ask the question, what clutch kit do I need for 400 horsepower? That's a useless question. Horsepower is not what clutches are rated to. Torque is what clutches are rated to. And whilst torque and horsepower are relative to each other, you can tune a vehicle to have more torque or less torque, but pretty much the same power. Your torque delivery you can also play with. So if you're ever trying to work out what clutch kit you should be using for your suitable application, you need to be looking at what the torque rating is for them. Now, like I said before, dual mass flywheels are good for sound absorption and vibration absorption, but not so great for your torque rating. So this is a standard RS mk2 dual mass flywheel, and officially they're only rated to 460 Newton meters. Now, that official rating comes from the RS500 Focus. That has one of these kits as standard. It will take a little bit more, but it's not officially rated to it. And like anything, you want to go for something that is slightly higher rated than what you're actually going to go for. Now, by comparison, the Xtreme flywheel kits, they're a single mass. So, similar design with the pressure plate, but this is not a self-adjusting one. As you can see, you've got your pressure plate fingers, but on this one, you can see these springs. These small green ones here. So as the clutch plate wears, this will self-adjust so that the clutch pedal stays in pretty much the same position all the way until it's completely gone. With the Xtreme kit, it's not self-adjusting. So I kind of like that myself because as it wears, your bike point in your pedal changes. So it kind of gives you a bit of a heads up of, we're wearing a bit low. It's almost like some manufacturers in their brake pads, they put like a wear indicator, so your brakes start to squeal. It's a little metal tang. Similar kind of deal. So backside, pretty much the same. You've got your mating face there. But the friction disc is where it becomes different. So this one is completely solid. This one has springs. So because the Xtreme kit's a single mass flywheel kit, there is no absorption. So instead, we fit springs in here, and this will take up a little bit of absorption. So it's not a dead on-off like a paddle clutch. For a race car, that's fine. For a road car, you don't really want that feeling. A lot of times you meet people and, put a fully sick race paddle clutch in my car. They hate driving their car. Daily driving, it's horrible. If it's a weekend toy or a track car, sure, but me personally, I couldn't hack it. So that's your friction disc. Pretty simple. And then we've got the same deal with the teeth for our crankshaft trigger. There's our gap. But this is a single mass chrome alloy flywheel. So this weighs considerably less. But because it's a single piece, it doesn't absorb any of those engine vibrations. So, especially in the XR5 and the RS, you get what's called single mass chatter. And what it is any gears that aren't being selected in the gearbox, they're just going to move back and forth. And you hear this kind of noise. Now look, even though I can have a 2010 one in and I can have a 2009 one in, they're exactly the same cars. Sometimes one is louder than the other. It all depends on the tolerances of the gearbox built that day, and what oil is in the gearbox will affect the sound. Being a single mass, it's lighter, so the car will rev up slightly quicker. The other major advantage you have with this is if when this clutch disc wears out, you want to replace this, you can have this ground, as we've shown in one of our other videos, so you don't have to buy a whole new flywheel. With a dual mass, this baby, you got to throw the whole thing in the bin. So from a cost perspective, long term, even though they're very similar price to buy new, every time you need to change it, it's going to cost you more with a dual mass than it will the single mass. The other major advantage you have with the Xtreme kits, because they're a single mass, is the torque rating. So this is a sprung organic kit. The torque rating starts at 600 Newton meters. That is their lowest torque rating for the XR5. So considering they're about 310, 320 factory, it's a pretty good gear. I myself, I run 550 Newton meters in one of my RSs with one of these kits, no problems at all. In my XR5, I run 500 Newton meters with one of these kits, no problems at all. So that's your major differences between them. Now this is made by a company called Luck for Ford. They're now available in aftermarket. Well, there's one thing you kind of got to be a little bit careful of with them that I've noticed recently, and it's the slave cylinders. If you buy one of these from Xtreme, because they deal with Luck, or any parts store that is a real parts store, you should be getting what you pay for. If you buy it off eBay, it's that classic eBay thing, you got to really check what you're getting. And this is what I was referencing earlier with the slave cylinders. So your factory slave cylinder is made by a company called FTE. And when you pull yours out, it'll have an FTE part number, and then it'll have FOMO code for the Ford logo on it. It's normally there. When FTE make it aftermarket, they just grind it off. All the eBay kits that I've seen and that I've had people bring to me to fit, it's not an FTE slave cylinder. There's no part numbers, it's completely blank. And if the slave cylinder leaks, you're pulling that gearbox back out again. So you might find that some workshops, if you supply them the parts, they might refuse to fit one unless it's a genuine or an FTE unit. So Xtreme only supply these kits with FTE units. I have had one where it was a no-name brand, and when I put them side by side, there was half a little difference between them. I might have the photo. I'll show you if I do.